guys and ghouls, welcome back to the Cozy Ghost. I'm your host, October, and today we will be playing First Snow. This looks like a really cozy, it's either a game or a visual novel, I can't remember which. Either way, it is super cute. So, yeah, let's just get playing. New game. The first snow of the year should be a comforting sight, yet this carries a different feeling when so far from home. Winter has always been my favorite time of the year, but the joy of warm fires and upcoming holidays is missing. There's only a month left to go until the season begins in earnest, but I can't feel any of the usual excitement. Coming winter will be the first I've spent away from my family after all. It's just me now, standing alone on a concrete balcony looking out onto a gray sky.
Hey, Allison! Aren't classes soon?
Oh. A woman's barking from down below breaks me out of my thoughts. Her familiar figure, clad in leather, stares up, snow heaped on the rusted shovel in her hands. Looks like the heating has died again. The inside of the apartment no warmer than out there. This new home might be a little shabby, but at least it's ours. A quick glance at my phone as I walk to get my coat and bag confirms her to be right. The morning's message from a friend still showing on the screen. The idea of big news at this of all times fills me with worry. I'm already too busy just trying to keep up with my new life. Big news, Allie. I'll tell you later in bio. It's a cute little charm. With time marching on, I quickly slip the phone back into my coat and set off for the stairs. I shouldn't have a problem making it to class if I keep a good pace. This is a pretty dope apartment, to be honest. Like, this shit's cute. Is that a World Cup trophy? Anyway. The busily shoveling woman is still working away, her efforts obvious to see. The snowfall has been impressive for a single night, but a good amount's already been cleared, her heavy breathing easily visible in the cold air. Keeping a brisk pace as much to get to my classes on time as it is to try and warm myself up, I try to wave a quick goodbye. It's obvious she won't let me go without giving her 2 cents, though, as she puts her shovel against the wall and takes a good stretch.
Morning, Rose. Working hard already?
Hey, someone's gotta do it. Not like those useless lumps will.
Rose jerks her head towards the apartments. She's not really wrong, but her usual tactlessness is on full display.
You all bundled up? Looks like winter's coming early going by the paper.
I'll be fine, don't worry.
Just take it easy on the way there, right?
I will.
So my name's Allison. Her name's Rose. Got it. A weak response is her smile as I start off down the road. She knows that I'm right. This is really pretty. This is really pretty. This is hardly the first exchange we've had like this. Every other morning, Rose comes up with something or another to definitely not be concerned about. I don't mind, though. Kindness is one of her better traits. The weather's been getting steadily colder for a while now. The few workers braving the morning chill are slowly making their way down to the bus station for work, those staying behind grumbling as they shovel snow from the roofs of their cars and their little driveways. There aren't many students down this way as I walk, however. Student accommodation filled up fast, and the nearby apartments were all rented out soon after that. Thank goodness for a family friend offering to let me live with them. Helpful as Rose may be, there's still some sense of being a foreigner. It's only been 2 months since I moved in and started classes at college. My circle of high school friends and boisterous family home turning overnight to a cramped apartment shared between Rose and I. As the school building came into view, I joined the tired masses staggering through the gates and toward their classes. Much as I might worry, I know I'm not alone. I'm sure many of the students around me right now are going through the exact same thing. It's only now that I realize I haven't had my usual morning coffee back at the apartment to wake myself up. With little time before biology class starts, I'll have to content myself with a quick can of soda from the vending machine. Heading over to the Union building on the way to class, the morning chill's driven away the usual gaggle of those sitting on the stairs and blocking the entrance. Can relate. Rubbing my hands together to summon some warmth, I head on in. With the heating being cranked right up, you could almost forget it's winter outside. My relief doesn't last long, however. My heart nearly stops as a deafening clatter comes from ahead. A couple walking arm in arm skirt around the edge of the room, doing their best not to draw the attention of a blonde woman nearby. She grumbles loudly before delivering another kick to the poor, abused vending machine in front of her. This is a good beat. I hate situations like these. Either I do nothing and feel bad for not helping, or step in and deal with the stress that comes with confronting someone involved. As I try to work my way out of this, my heart freezes as the woman locks eyes with me. I must make for a pitiable sight with my hands raised defensively in front of me, her rage calming as she settles for staring daggers at the machine. Resigned to my fate, I reluctantly shuffle towards her as my heart beats wildly. As I do, her dour look is only made all the more intimidating from the bags under her eyes. Bags under her eyes.
Is something wrong?
Stupid thing ate my money. No can or change at all. Threw $5 in there, too.
The vending machine here messes up sometimes. It's usually better to go through to the cafeteria for drinks.
They should fix it then.
You're not wrong. Recounting the event only serves to stir up her annoyance, another foot being jammed into the accused. The horrible noise makes me cringe again, and I'm starting to worry she'll hurt herself as much as the machine itself.
Don't kick it again!
Why not? Thing's already broken, isn't it?
I want to say that I'd rather not get in trouble with the staff, but I get the feeling that wouldn't faze her. Reviewing my options as quickly as I can, there's only one solution I can think of that might settle her down. I probably shouldn't, but if no one's paying much attention...
Which drink did you want?
She gave me a curious look after I managed to squeak the words out, but eventually point.
I was just grabbing a lemonade on the way out.
Could you turn around for a moment?
With great reluctance, she turns away as I ask. I doubt she could work out what I'm doing, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Closing my eyes and silently mouthing the right sequence to make sure I don't mess it up, I go about my business. With any luck, the software inside hasn't been updated since I last tested it. A long sigh of relief passes my lips as the vending machine rattles away, loudly dumping a can into a small opening. Oh shit, she knows how to hack vending machines. That's fun. Holding the can before the blonde woman's face as she turns back around, my reward is a somewhat impressed expression as she takes the item. I'm impressed! Now that she has her drink and had a chance to get her frustration out of her system, she seems to be calming a little. Her height doesn't help her look any less intimidating, though. Am I short? Is Allison short? With that, I consider the matter settled as I nod and begin to walk away. Only as I leave do I realize my heart's racing after having to deal with her.
Hey, wait up!
Reaching for my instinctual response, I pretend not to hear her as I skitter away and disappear back through the entrance. The cold hits me like a wall as I leave through the door. I hardly mind, heaving a sigh to steady myself as I head towards classes. I only remember now that I'd intended to grab a drink myself, but fiddling with the machines probably made me too late. The empty campus grounds make me nervous, making me take my phone in my hand to check the time. A quick glance is all that's needed to send me dashing towards the Sciences building. It's going to be one of those days. Panting from the run, I stagger into biology class with as much composure as I can muster. The sight seems to make a pitiable impression on the professor, who merely nods for me to take a seat. Setting my bag next to me, I quickly take the seat next to a now familiar figure. The diminutive Caprice shoots a grin and a wave as I sit, earning a smile in return. It's nice to see a friendly face. As the professor gets back to lecturing, I grab my still pristine textbook from my bag, flicking through to the bookmark I had added for where we currently are. Movement from the corner of my eye takes my attention, a ripped piece of sketch pad sliding before me. Oh no, your perfect attendance record. What happened? These are cute. Her writing is surrounded by various doodles and scribbles already on the page. I should pay attention to the class, but it isn't that easy to wave Caprice off. Then again, this is largely reviewing what we covered in high school right now. It probably won't hurt me to chat with her a bit. Oh, that's cute! Got held up with someone! It's gone. I write a brief reply and a little accompanying drawing before sliding it back over. Quick look to the professor, making sure the coast is clear as he drones on. Smart. Caprice's reply as the pages pass back makes me grimace. Should have expected that. I almost reply before noticing the professor casting a knowing glance my way as he continues teaching. He knew what we were doing, didn't he? Thinking better of it, I tuck the page beneath my textbook and start listening properly. I don't need to look at Caprice to know her reaction. I hardly think worse of her for it, though. Swapping doodles during these classes was how she broke the ice with me. When I was just another lonely freshman student. A shy one at that, given we're still friends. Hope it worked. I suppose it worked. Sneaking a glance back at the page beneath my book reminds me how well the mercurial girl can draw, at least compared to me. She mentioned one time that she's also taking art classes, which must be paying off. Before I knew it, the class starts winding up. The other students begin to get distracted as time goes on. The professor is soon starting to wrap things up in response. No sooner do the words come from his mouth, the class is over, does the loud clatter of people packing books and pens into their bags and backpacks begin. Caprice wastes no time in talking as the two of us do the same.
I was worried you were sick today, Allie. It was only a couple of minutes. For you, that's a lot.
She has a point. It's likely I was more concerned about this than the teacher. After near perfect attendance through high school, the last thing I want is to set a bad expectation for the staff here.
Setting that aside, I'm not sure the professor really likes us passing notes to each other in class.
Girl, who cares?
Oh, don't worry about him. He's cool. We've talked.
What does that mean?
Well, if you're sure, I do like seeing your drawings. Aw, and I like seeing yours. I'm glad you're here today, actually. I've been thinking, and I need your help with something.
What could she need help with?
We're making an art club.
Fun!
But there's already an art. Wait, why is there a we there? How am I part of this? You're a founding member, of course.
Fun. New art club. Why do I get the feeling Caprice has been mulling this over in her head for ages? Plans seem to already be in motion for her, and I'm not sure what choice I have left in this. I'm left to mull things over as I take my coat from the back of my seat and slip it on, the two of us taking our bags and joining the others and heading out to the hallway. Hadn't even considered joining a club, let alone starting one up with all the work that entail. I can help, but I have my schoolwork to concentrate on, you know. Getting a scholarship wasn't easy, and I'd rather not waste it. Right. You were majoring in chemistry, weren't you? I give a nod, albeit a slightly guilty one. Not that I dare have told my family, but I only picked chemistry because I happen to be good at it. Like most things in life, I just went with the default option before me. At least Caprice seems to have moved on from me being a part of this. I have enough going on in my life between moving to a new home and studying for college. To think about spending time in clubs and things. I'm surprised you're taking biology classes, to be honest. Are you more into art? It's hard to pick a favorite, but right now, bio is just the entry-level stuff. It's so boring, right? I talked to the professor, though, and we're getting into some marine life chapters soon. That seems very specific.
Yeah!
It's the most interesting part. I gotta focus hard when we get there. I plan on making it my major. So even a free spirit like Caprice has something she's working towards. Seems I can't get away from how much of a mess my life is. With no idea what I want to do for a career. Well, that's not even that big a deal. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. Like, you don't even have to pick a major until like a good way into your college career. So, she's fine. The two of us head outside with our next classes in other buildings. As we do, I look about warily as students from other classes pass by. I'd rather not bump into that angry woman again. Who were you held up with anyway? Bump into a friend? That would require there to be another beyond her in the first place. She's about the last person I'd call a friend. Kinda scary, actually. She might have been asking that up small talk before, but now I have her full interest. With reluctance, I think back to the event. Not sure if you know her. Tall, blonde, green eyes, very sharp lips, high boots, kinda pretty. Now that I have time to think it through, she was quite beautiful. And more than her body, too. I liked her sense of fashion. Is she? I think I know who you're talking about, actually.
Huh?
You do? Yep, our other founding member. Of course! She hasn't dropped the idea of me joining at all, and now wants her of all people to be part of this. My reaction to B-News apparently shows on my face. If you're thinking of the same person, I've seen her around and I've heard some things. She floats around the art department a lot, so the other art club tried to grab her. She didn't even pretend to consider it, just told them to get lost. Which means she's still free. If she already rejected one club, why would she join another?
Exactly.
Because it's led by me, of course. Real. I just sigh. I need to get to my next class. Being late for one today is already too much. Resigned to my fate, I wave goodbye and start to head off. Not more than a couple of seconds later, I hear her calling out behind me. Before you go, meet me on the second floor of the arts building after classes, okay? We need to get started on finding a club room and stuff. Looks like I'm gonna be part of this scheme, whether I like it or not. Dealing with that woman again makes me shudder, but she'll surely just reject Caprice, and that'll be that. Oh, this is cute. Walking through the halls at these hours is a wholly different experience to the normal hustle and bustle, where students gossiped in the hallways, organized dates, and hurried between classes with arms full of overpriced textbooks. There's now a sweet silence. All to be seen at this hour is the odd straggler thinking more about dinner than schoolwork. Well, them and the Christmas decorations. I get the feeling that the arts and humanities staff took some enjoyment out of getting ready for the occasion. Much like the school itself, the decorations look a bit ragged, probably hauled out every year for decades. With little to do until Caprice shows up, exploring the arts building and peering into this classroom or that winds up passing the time. Heading up the stairs, I take my time strolling through the hallways. Everything is bathed in the orange of the sunset. The quiet of the halls giving the building a serene atmosphere. It's calming after the day's events. It isn't until a good few minutes pass that I find the first thing of much interest. A single room with the door left open. Curiosity getting the better of me, I stroll up to the hallway and gingerly step inside. At least I can close the door for them. With only a handful of chairs actually set against the tables, I'd think the room unused if not for the paints, papers, and sketchbooks strewn across the top of the cupboards. If Caprice wanted a club room, this would be as good as any. As I peer about, the sight of one particular canvas amongst it all catches my attention. A painting of a woman standing in water drying on the easel. The painter's utensils still lying about. It's pretty. That is pretty! Stepping up to look at it, I'm surprised by how old-fashioned it is. Kind of like an oil painting that'd be drawn a century or so ago. Every brushstroke and line has depth to it. The painter's every movement clearly visible. So this person can't not know that much about art, if they're talking about brushstrokes. I find myself struck by its beauty, time slipping by me as I stare. Her soft-looking skin and flowing locks of hair are enough to make me wistfully sigh, her face telling of her free spirit. It's beautiful. My thoughts are suddenly interrupted by the creaking of the door opening further, causing me to whip around in fright. The particular person standing in the doorway, looking straight at me, does nothing to settle my racing heart, much less the fact that I'm not even supposed to be in here. Sorry, I quickly try to stammer out something, but the words keep catching in my throat. Oh, it's Vending Machine Girl. Allison.
Hi?
Allison Merlot. So you do have a name. I'm Eileen Turner, for what it's worth. I quickly nod. For all my nervousness about maybe being somewhere I shouldn't, Eileen doesn't actually seem to care that much. In fact, she looks almost bored. If this room is used by a bunch of people, there's a good chance she might not know I'm an intruder. Well, I'm gonna close this place up. If you want anything, you should grab it. Not that I think you have anything in here. The cold edge to her voice freezes my entire body.
Wait!
I can explain. Eileen narrows her eyes and crosses her arms, waiting for my response. A response which is interrupted by a familiar booming voice from the entrance.
Allie!
Hey, Allie! I don't think I've ever been so glad to see Caprice. Given this art club business was her idea, it's for the best if she explains it all. Eileen doesn't look impressed as Caprice skips into the room, looking this way and that like some tourist. Good work! You already found us a room! This'll work perfectly. So, Caprice got herself a goon. I wish I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yep. You're not supposed to agree with that. And what do you want this room for, pray tell? Well, the current art club is awful, I'm sure you know. So instead of dealing with them, we're gonna form our own. And it looks like you and Allie have found us our club room. I see what's happened here now. Caprice engineered the situation so we'd all be here together. This isn't a very subtle scheme, but that's all the more reason for her to have come up with it. I tried my best to backpedal in a way that don't upset either. I just thought we'd draw a bit. Didn't mean to intrude.
Seriously?
I got permission to use this room to practice my painting, not for some dumb club.
Cool.
Sorry, but it's 2 against 1. Majority rule. I didn't say anything about a club. Well, too bad. This is a dictatorship. Eileen stands her ground, staring down her opponent as I try my best to stay well out of their argument. Her resolve doesn't last long, though. Realizing the futility of it, she eventually heaves a sigh at Caprice's antics. Can't say I wholly blame her. I just want to work in peace. That isn't much to ask.
Come on.
But I'm going. Not going to get anything more done today anyway. Oh, she's got a scarf. Eileen turns to me after picking up her coat from a desk and pulling her scarf around her, rather pointedly, being finished with Caprice. See you around, I guess. Yeah. At a loss for how I'm supposed to respond with such an unenthusiastic tone, I'm left standing silently as a frustrated Eileen throws her backpack over her shoulder and strides out. Caprice just smiles and shrugs as she looks back to me. The argument they had just moments ago flowing off her like water on a duck's back. Well, that's how it is. I feel like I got dragged into something. I didn't really think that'd work, but it was worth a try. She's not listening to me at all. Am I really just an instrument to try and win this argument between them? No, I can't think that. Caprice is forceful, but she means well. If this did end up being a club, I'd probably enjoy it. Caprice certainly wouldn't make it dull, and I think if Eileen got to know me, she'd be nicer to me, but I don't want to risk Eileen getting even more annoyed with me. It feels like I've been left to hunker down in a foxhole of no man's land, and all I can do right now is hold on my helmet tight. As the orange of the sunset starts to wane outside, it becomes obvious that nothing more is going to get done today, just as Eileen said.
Take care.
Better head home, it's getting late. See you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
See ya. If you ever want to drop, feel free to drop by the new club room. Precisely none of what Eileen said penetrated, did it? I just gave a weak smile as I wave and take my bag, idly wondering if Rose will be cooking something for dinner or bringing home takeout. It's something more heartening to think about than today's efforts anyway. As I collapse onto the couch and settle in, the deafening sound of silence rushes in. The odd passing car from the street below the apartment only highlights the quiet of the room. Plucking my phone from my pocket after dropping my bag on the cushion beside me, I take quick note of the time. I guess Rose got stuck in traffic. An annoying train of thought starts up once again as I put it away, one that's crept up on me occasionally ever since moving out, just waiting for when nothing's around to distract me. I can cope with schoolwork easily enough. It's mostly just review right now. People like Caprice might be a handful, but they do liven up the day's routine. It's a fair distance to campus from here, but the walk helps keep me fit. The silence. That I can't deal with. I think that's going to be all for today. So I'm going to end this episode here. If you really like this game, I will be playing more of it. I'm probably going to finish playing it. But yeah, if you like this game, give me a like, hit that subscribe button, leave a couple comments, do whatever. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye!